All right, well, welcome everyone. My name's Marissa. I'm one of the children's librarians for the Santa Clara County Library District. And today I'll be presenting printmaking art projects. This is part of our Kids Art Club. And I have with me Miss Kila, who will be helping with Zoom. And we also have Miss Jennifer, who will be helping with Facebook. Here is a list of the supplies that you'll be needing today. You'll need paint. If you have washable paint, that works best for younger kids, but acrylic paint works well. Paint brushes and a paint roller, but if you don't have a paint roller, do not worry, you can use the paintbrush. You'll need paper. Regular paper works. If you have construction paper, that will also work. You'll need paper plates for the paint, and water and paper towels will come in handy to clean your hands or to clean your brush. Now, the supplies for the different prints that we'll be using today are a fork, cotton swabs, celery, styrofoam, and a flat surface. I'll be using a plastic container, or you can also use a piece of cardboard covered with foil. And I'll go over the supplies later on. Okay, if you are joining us through Zoom, you enter without access to audio and video, and that's for privacy reasons. But please use the Q&A at the bottom to ask your questions. If you are joining us through Facebook, you can ask your questions in the comment section. And like I said, Ms. Jennifer will be helping with Facebook, and Ms. Kila will be helping with Zoom. A recording of this program will be available for viewing after the broadcast, so you can always come back to it. Okay, so what is printmaking? Printmaking is the art of reproducing the same image or design. And most of the techniques I will be using today are that reproducing the same print. However, there is one technique where the print can only be produced once instead of multiple times, and that is monotype prints. And I will be showing you that later today. Relief printing will be using that technique as well, and that is creating a master surface that can be pressed into or carved. And for that, we'll be using the styrofoam if you have that. Other printmaking techniques include nature, like the leaves of a tree, or organic forms, including vegetables. Like I said, we'll be using celery, but if you don't have the celery, you can use other vegetables like or fruits like the onion, a lemon, apples. Other household items that you can use for printmaking. As you can see here in my pictures, I use the cookie cutters. I use a Lego block, the potato masher, and there is the empty paper roll. Okay, today's art projects will be making 4 different projects. So if you don't have all the supplies, please don't worry. You can just watch for demonstration purposes, and you can, like I said, you can always come back and watch the video again. So I want to go over really quick with the different projects so you can get your supplies if you don't have them ready. The first one will be making flowers. Again, for all projects, we're gonna need paint and paper. For the flowers, we're gonna need a fork, cotton swabs, and an empty soda can. If you don't have all three, do not worry. As long as you have one, you'll be able to follow along. The second project, we're gonna be making celery roses, and for that we're gonna need the bottom of the celery. So if you have that and it's not cut, please have your caregiver cut it for you. Or again, if you don't have that, just open your fridge and see what you can find. Other fruits could be apples, you could use a lemon, onions, bell pepper. Relief printing technique. For this one, we'll be using the styrofoam tray. We're gonna need a pencil to carve the design. And this is where we need the paint roller. But like I said, if you don't have that, a paintbrush will work. And the last technique is the Monotype Print. For these, you'll need a flat surface. So as you can see here on my picture, it's a plastic container. So I'll be using the lid for that. Other things that could work, it's a baking sheet or a piece of cardboard covered with foil paper. And we're gonna need a cotton swab and a paintbrush for that. Okay, before we get started, are there any questions?
I'm not seeing any questions right now.
All right, so I'm gonna share my camera. All right. So like I said, for the flowers, we're gonna need a fork. Now for the fork, you want to make sure you choose a fork with a flat back. I try using a plastic fork for my sample, and the back is not completely flat, so it doesn't work very well for that. Before I start, let me show you my sample. So here is what we're gonna do. The fork, we're gonna print this kind of flower. So we're gonna dip the paint and we're just gonna press down, and it's okay to rub up and down to get all the paint on the paper. If you have the empty soda bottle, we're gonna print these kind of flowers, goes like that. And these type of flowers, we're gonna use the cotton swabs. So again, if you have all three, you're more than welcome to follow along. If you only have one, it's okay. We can just do more of one print. So I have my paper plate. Now I'm going to choose a color. And I am using acrylic paint. But like I said, if you have washable paint, that works. And it's better for the younger kids. So you don't need a lot of paint. And all you have to do is dip the fork into the paint and just press down. And there you go. There's one print. So I'm just gonna do this throughout my paper. And I have a large piece of construction paper. But like I said, you can use regular paper. And because my sheet of paper is large, I'm gonna do the 3 different prints. But so I'm gonna plan accordingly so I can do the 3 different prints on my paper. But like I said, if you don't have all 3, you can just use what you have. Now for I'm gonna add more paint, and this is for the bottle. Like I said, you don't need a lot of paint. The other thing too is you can always test your print on a different sheet of paper. And if you're happy with the result, then you can just do it on your paper. We're gonna add stems as well, but we're gonna do that at the end. Okay. Gonna do the stems now. And for that, I am using the paintbrush. You can also use a Q-tip if you like. And I don't really have color green, so this is more like a teal color. But it's okay with me. See, and then that's all you do. You're just adding the stems. And I am going to add more stems for the other flowers with Q-tips. Okay, now for the other flowers, I'm gonna use color purple. And for the Q-tips, I would say maybe use about 10. If you have a rubber band, you can use that to keep them together. If you don't have one, it's okay. Just maybe try getting 4 or 5 at a time. Okay. So I'm using my rubber band at the end, and I'm gonna use this end for the paint. I'm gonna use purple. I'm looking at the screen, and it looks more like blue on the screen, but trust me, it's purple. And all you have to do is just tap it, press down, and you have your flowers. I'm gonna use one Q-tip, and I'm gonna add a little bit of the pink on my flowers. And this is just to give it the effect of like 2 different colors. Okay, also gonna use a Q-tip to add yellow to my red flowers. And if you like, you can add leaves to the stem, so you can add grass at the bottom. You can use a Q-tip, or you can also use your finger. I love using my finger for these. It's a great sensory activity, especially for the younger kids. Or you can use your paintbrush. See, I hope that looks like grass. And you can add some leaves to your flowers. All right. And you can use a paper towel to clean your hands. So there it is. There is my masterpiece with flowers. All right, so you can keep working on that if you like. I'm just gonna take a minute to clean this up and set up for the next project. Now for the next project, we are going to need the celery. And I have it ready right here. But take a minute to clean your work area. And let me know if there are any questions. Okay. Make sure this is center. Okay, so for the celery, Celery Print Roses, this is a very effective printing technique, and it's for all ages. As you can see, the celery resembles a flower, so this is why it makes it so effective, because we're just gonna add paint, press down, and that it's gonna print a rose. So if you don't have these ready, so all you need is the bottom of the celery stalk. So again, if you have one at home, if you need help, have your grown-up cut it for you. And you want to cut it straight, because we want to be able to press down and print the rose. Okay, so for that I have a paper plate. I have my paint, and you don't need a lot of paint. For these, we just need a thin layer. So put your paint, spread it out. So it's important not to put too much paint. All right, so I like how that looks. Let me get a clean sheet of paper. And then, like I said, all you do is just press down If your celery is not cut straight, you can just roll it to make sure that all the paint gets on the paper. You lift it up and there it is. There's a rose. And then you just repeat the same process. And you can always add more paint to your plate. Okay, I'll do one more and then we can add some green leaves. All right, I'll give you a minute to finish up. And in that time, I just remember where we have some green paint, so I'm gonna go and get that. Okay, I am back with my green paint. So same thing, you can use a paintbrush if you like to add the stems. So I have my green paint right here. The other thing that you can do, it's cut piece of the celery. And I'm gonna wipe this part off with my paper towel. And I'm just going to dip it into the paint. And these could be some leaves. See, it's really hard to do this online because I'm not able to see what you guys are creating at home. All right. Okay, what do you guys think? Here are my roses, and we're doing this on paper, but I've seen people do it on canvas bags, aprons, backpacks. So just another idea. Okay, should we move on to the next project? Are there any questions?
No questions, but those are beautiful roses.
Thank you. Okay, next we are going to need the styrofoam. Actually, let me show you some of the samples that I have. So I Oops, there it is. Trying to center it. Made this earlier. This sample right here is using the paint roller, and this one right here, it's just using a paintbrush. So it gives you a different texture depending on what you use. With a paint roller, I feel like it looks more like a stamp. So yeah, just wanted to point that out. And I believe it also depends on the quality. My paint roller, I only spent $1. So I'm sure there are better quality rollers out there. Okay, so for the styrofoam, I have a tray. Like I said, a paper plate could work. I believe there are also sheets of styrofoam. And I'm just gonna turn it upside down, and I'm gonna use this part to create the design. Okay, sorry, I'm still trying to clean over here. Now, so this is the relief printing. So remember, relief printing is when you carve into a printing block that you can use to press on paper and make a print. In this case, I have a pencil. This is just a white color pencil. And I'm gonna use this to carve my design. And you can use a pencil, but make sure that it's not too sharp. Otherwise, it could go through the styrofoam and it could break your design. Okay, what should we make? How about if I ask our audience, can you type in the Q&A what you would like to see, or if you're joining us on Facebook, I don't know, just give me something. I'm not good at drawing, but I'll try my best. I know on Facebook there is a delay. Oh, I see something. Let's see. A butterfly, an animal, a dragon. Wow. Okay, let's do a butterfly. I don't know that I have the skills for a dragon. So, but yeah, at home, just feel free to draw whatever you like. I'm gonna attempt to make a butterfly. If it helps, you can also do it with like a marker or a pencil first, so you can do the outline and then press harder the second time to carve it. I'm just gonna start carving. Here's the body of my butterfly. And I'm just gonna do the wings. I'll do a heart over here. Some circles. I'll do the antennas over here. Oops. And this is the first time. If you're doing this at home and it's your first time, just have fun with it. I hope that you have more sheets of styrofoam so you can just repeat the process. So that's my thing. Just enjoy the process. See, because my butterfly over here, it's not perfect, but I am having fun with these. Okay. All right, I think I have no more room. So here's my butterfly. See if I put that at an angle. You guys can see the design. Now, I'm ready for the paint. I'm gonna use the roller, so you can choose one color. On my samples over here, I did 3 different colors. So I think I'm gonna do that again. And the way I do that, I do 3 colors in a row. So I'm gonna do purple, pink, and what should I use? Let's do light blue. Okay, there it is. I'll add a little bit more of purple. I'll use my roller now. So you want to get the paint on your roller. Okay. Here's my design. See, and as you apply the paint, you're starting to see more the carving of the design. Okay. That to the side. Okay, so now let me put that away. We are ready to print on paper. So for this part, you can either place paper on top if the styrofoam piece that you have at home it's flat. In this case, I have a tray. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to flip this over and then press down on paper. You can just press down. You want to make sure all the paint gets on the paper. And there is my butterfly. It's hard to see all the different colors on the camera, but I can see them on my paper. Now, just for fun, let's say that you don't have a roller and all you have is paint. So for paint, you can also use your plate. But I'm going to demonstrate how it looks with paint. Okay, so I'm just gonna use a paintbrush and I'm gonna spread the paint. See, working with paint is so much fun. So, like I said, just enjoy the process because that itself, for me, it's very fun. Okay, and I think I did a little too much of paint, so I'm just trying to spread it out. So So I have a nice thin layer of paint. Okay, and same thing. I'm going to flip this over, press down. You flip this up, and there it is. There's the butterfly. So I have my butterfly using the paintbrush and the butterfly using the paint roller. So if you don't have a paint roller, you can always try to get one if you like. Like I said, I only pay $1 for mine. Okay. I'll give you a minute to clean up before we move to our last project. And I need to move some of this paint out of my way. Okay. Now, the last printing technique I want to demonstrate today is monoprinting. And monoprinting, it's making a different print each time. So what I have here, it's just a plastic container with a flat surface, because that's what we need. We need a flat frame. So like I mentioned before, you can also use a baking sheet, or I have seen people use a piece of cardboard covered with foil paper. So this is what I have here. Let me center that. Oops, right there. Okay, so this is a similar technique as the previous one, except that we are not carving it. We're just making a design, and we'll be able to reproduce the design once. So for that, I'm gonna use a Q-tip. And the first step is to apply the paint. You can use the roller or use your paintbrush. So I'm gonna use the same plate, and I think I'll use the same colors. Oops, it was blue. All right. Okay, and again, you only need a thin layer of paint. You can use a Q-tip, and I'm gonna attempt to do a butterfly again. I think I need more practice making butterflies. See, I told you I need more practice. And just do some squiggly lines around. See? I mean, you can spend more time on your design, but like I said, this is just a demonstration. So I'm just gonna turn this over, press down. Oops. And ta-da! Okay. And when you experiment with paint, sometimes you don't get the full design like in this case. So let's try that again. But see, it's very similar to okay, here's another sheet of paper. I think part of the problem is that my container is not fully closed. So I'm just gonna get the lid. So you can wipe it off. And now let's do another butterfly. And you just need a thin layer. So if you put too much, you can just try to get some of it off. I think this is why you want to put it in a plate. Okay. Okay, I like how that looks. Now, I'm going to do another butterfly, but this time I'm going to use my finger just because it's fun. See, and this is a great activity for younger kids. Like I said, it's just a great sensory activity. And I'm just gonna use the regular sheet of paper, put it on top this time, and gently press down. Okay. And there is our butterfly. Okay, there's the Monoprint. Just cleaned a little bit over here. Okay, I hope this was fun for you guys because this is all I have for today. I hope you got inspired to experiment with printmaking. And I am very curious to see your art pieces. So please share your photos. Let me share the link with you where you guys can do that. Okay, here is the link where you can share your creations. Like I said, I hope this was fun and that you guys got something out of it. I invite you to explore your house, look for objects that you can use for printmaking, and please share your art pieces. You can upload them to our gallery. Here is the link where you can do that. And our next art program will be doing snowflakes. That is on December 1st at 4 p.m. The supplies that you'll need for that are paper, salt, glue, scissors, watercolor paint, a paintbrush, and a string. And if you guys have no questions for me or comments, then I can end the program. And thank you so much. All right. Well, thank you. All right. I'm going to stop now. Goodbye.